Hey everybody, how's it going? So I came across this video, well, mainly because YouTube recommended it to me, but it's on video editing software that A, I have never heard of, B, I have never heard of the guy that's talking about this, but I hate when companies do this. And because the people that watch my channel are people that are videoing their rides and maybe doing moto vlogs and that sort of thing, they might want to know what software I use. I personally use, not sponsored by, DaVinci Resolve. It's 100% free. It's very powerful. It will do mostly what any one of us that rides needs done. And like I said, it's free. They do have a paid version that gives you access to, I guess, effects and some other stuff, but it's a very powerful, very professional piece of software. I haven't felt the need that I needed that next level of professionalism, yes, from the software. So I've just used the free version. It's great. I have no issues with it. They do updates. It's updated all the time. It's wonderful. I can't really say anything more about it. Of course, like any software, you have to learn. So my background was using Sony Vegas, and then the company bought them out, and it was just changed to Vegas. And I had bought a version of that, and I just had some issues with it, and it was easy to use, and there was nice features about it, and to toss a video together, it was pretty quick. But you're paying for something that sometimes crashed. Where I have DaVinci Resolve now, and it's been a while since I've had a crash. Usually it's because I've left my PC on for extended time and Windows is acting funny in general, and then I'll reboot everything and everything's good to go. I use Windows based PC here. And anyways, I was recommended by YouTube to watch this guy's video, and we'll see who that guy is in a minute. But this is familiar, or Filmora, sorry, Filmora. And it's made by Wondershare. I guess they make a bunch of different products. Who knows? Maybe I'll be sued by them, or they'll say I can't have this reaction video or opinion based video talking about their stuff. But this is their website. I haven't used it. But what happened was, and what I don't like about companies that do this, is at one point they offered on version 9 a lifetime license. Now there's debate on upgrade and update and this and that, but we'll skip kind of to the end. Filmora has said that they're going to honor that lifetime license to 12 to 13 to 14. That's what they have now decided. But they've also made a few threats. It's a company I personally wouldn't use. Not when there's a company like DaVinci Resolve out there that you can use for your video editing needs. And why would you use a company like this that has done this, that hasn't gone through and read its own language back in Filmora 9 about you could do upgrades, updates. You could do that. Going to the next version was allowed, and they had allowed it. So precedence was they had allowed users to go from 9 to 10 to 11 and wouldn't go to 12 until this became a huge thing. And then they've kind of reversed course. And now they're like, hey, Linus Tech Tips have done a video on this issue. This guy who was sponsored by Filmora has done a video series now. We'll call it a video series on them in this issue. So we'll go. This is the first, one of the videos I saw. Filmora just canceled our lifetime license. And the reason I watched it, because wow, really, what is Filmora, what is lifetime license, why is this being recommended to me? I don't know, because maybe I've looked up DaVinci Resolve or something, and YouTube was like, this might interest you because it's Filmora. Anyways, I watched it because I wanted to see about the lifetime licenses. And this guy, Daniel Batal, talks about, he has 239,000 subscribers. I have subscribed to him now because of this. I don't know if I'll watch his stuff. Maybe I will, because he later on does say he's going to start using DaVinci Resolve, and he'll do, you know, show you how-tos and this and that. I mean, there's a lot of how-tos out there, but this guy's voice is nice and calm. He seems calm. He speaks a lot better than I do on camera and how I come across. So he's somebody that can walk you through a piece of software and you'll understand it, and he'll show you and what have you. Good for him. He seems like a guy I could sit down and have a drink with. You know, he seems very calm, very relaxing, much different than how I am. But you know, I gave a thumbs up and I joined. So the basic part of this video, and if you want to watch his videos, and we have 5 videos here, I'll have them down in my description, so you can just go. I'm just going to kind of give you a run through. We'll watch parts of a few of them, but you can watch it and decide for yourself. Is Wondershare, aka Filmora, a company you can trust? Would you give them your money for whatever they have going on now? I personally wouldn't, because if it took Linus Tech Tips doing a video on this issue, and this guy who used to be sponsored by them got paid by them. Sponsorship with payment, not like sponsorship with, there's different levels of sponsorship, as you know, in the motorcycle world. You might just get sponsored with free software or discount on software or whatever. He actually got money to make videos on using their software for video editing. Okay? And he's like, and that was in the past, and he has no hard feelings towards them or anything, but he goes on to explain the lifetime licenses and how in Filmora 9 that they said you could upgrade. And they've allowed upgrades to, you know, 10 to 11, but not to 12, because they wanted to change their business tactic or strategy to make more money. I don't know how many lifetime licenses they have. Somebody in a comment said they have 100 million copies of Filmora out there. Well, but how many lifetime licenses do they have out there? Let's say they have 1 million. Well, you're going to start making people pay. Not all 1 million are just going to also only pay you. They're going to start looking around, and there's other things like DaVinci Resolve that they might say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and use this off. Portion of those people would say, well, you know what, I already know how to use the software. I don't have to, you know, relearn a piece of software, and which takes time. It takes time, and I have to use YouTube all the time to, I know I should be able to do this. How do I do it? And there's a lot of videos out there. Hopefully this guy makes some. And like I said, his calm voice, I will definitely watch his videos. I subscribe for 2 reasons. Hopefully he makes those videos. And just because of this issue with Filmora. So anyways, the gist of this is, you know, they're not going to honor lifetime licenses. He goes on later about, you know, the upgrade and that, and they kind of change words around, what have you. So we're going to go over to here. This next video he had was Filmora doubles down on lifetime license cancellation. And this is where we're going to kind of watch a little bit. See if I have it in a good spot.
Clear. You would be allowed to upgrade to Filmora 12 if you are a lifetime user of Filmora 9 or the earlier version.
So a person used the Wayback Machine to find that in the past, not that long ago, I think he said a couple weeks ago, this is what it said for Filmora 12 under their, you know, frequently asked questions. You are a lifetime user of Filmora 9 or the earlier version. So if you had paid for a lifetime license, you'd be able to upgrade. Now, what happened was, I guess Familiar watches Twitter. I have a Twitter account. I go on there to bug people more than anything because I find it useless. But a lot of companies, for whatever reason, monitor Twitter quite a bit. Especially if you have a good sized channel, they're going to pay attention to you. I guess he's tagged him there. Other people have tagged him there. Hey, look, this, just a couple weeks ago, there's a misunderstanding. There's a misunderstanding. You know, no, that we've changed it. That's just a misunderstanding. Anyways, let's continue.
Now, when users discovered this and rushed to point it out to Filmora on Twitter, Filmora quickly dismissed them, saying this was just another misunderstanding between us. And they said,
Are you serious? A company's gonna double down and say, "Oh, it's just a misunderstanding." No, no, we were talking about beta. Nothing there said beta test. It said Filmora 9 or earlier for lifetime licenses would be able to upgrade to 12. So they had that even there. They probably knew that they had to put that there, and somebody was like, no, 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 no. We got to get rid of that because we want these people to pay money. We want these people to come on board and have perpetual licenses where, you're going to pay every year $69 or whatever it is. You're going to pay that every single year because these lifetime agreements companies have realized in the long run, especially they're good when a company's starting out, right? They're horrible for when the company gets established. Because when they get established, they want that monthly fee or yearly fee. They don't want that lifetime license person to be around anymore. I have some issues like with an app on my phone called A-Car. It's great for tracking your mileage, your maintenance for your vehicle, expenses and all that. I can keep track of that for business reasons. Well, I have a lifetime. I had paid for it back when it was like lifetime. You will always get, so I get the upgrade stuff, but what it does is it cancels out my code there, and when I have to go back, look up my old email, find that code, copy and paste it to get rid of the ads, and it'll allow me to do like file sharing. If I want to share a backup to my Google Drive and stuff, I have to paste that code, and it gets really annoying. And I asked them about it. They said, "Oh, they pawn it off as it's an issue with Google." Okay, let's assume that's correct. All you have to do is program a field in where we put that code, it saves it in the software, and at least all I have to do is cut and paste from that line to the next line, right? I don't understand why I can't, or leave it in there and I just hit submit again and I just have to keep submitting it, and then it says, okay, you have the full account. What they don't want, what the real reason is why they make it a hassle is because they want me to leave. They want me to give up or to start paying the monthly. It's real cheap, but I bought the version when it was lifetime. So companies do this all the time, trying to make more money. They think you're going to continue. Actually, if I had to pay out of principle, I just stop using it. I don't need it. It's just a nice piece of software that allows me to keep track of my maintenance and my mileage and this and that. So occasionally I have to go in there and put in the code so then it can, do its thing and back up to the cloud and what have you. But I don't know. But anyways, there's companies like that try to get away. So it's good when a company starts because they can sell a bunch, right? Hey, it's only $50 or whatever for like an app. It's like it's only $10, $15, $20, and then you pay it, and then like 10 years down the road, they're like, you know what? We want to get rid of these people. Well, legally they can't, but they can make it a pain for you. I think Wondershare or Filmora, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, but they were just hoping people would say, I understand this software, I don't want to change software, and I will switch over. That they would make more money by these people switching over versus the people that would leave. Because there inevitably would be people that would say, F them, and I'm going to leave. They're going to get the middle finger, and they're going to go. Because they don't, they don't like it out of principle. Like this guy doesn't like it out of principle. It has nothing to do with money. It's like if a piece of software all of a sudden, say DaVinci Resolve all of a sudden said, we're going to start charging you $50 a year. I'd actually be a little upset about that because it has been, the free version has been free. But then again, I never bought it and I didn't sign a licensing agreement. But now if they changed it to, hey, it's going to be $50 lifetime license just to make some quick cash, I'd probably do it. But then if they later changed and said, like this said, hey, we're going now to charge you yearly, out of principle, I have an issue with that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. You know, my previous life, I was an IT guy, but I was never a programmer. I understand there's a debate between the word upgrade, update, this and that. But Filmora has already admitted that, you know, in their later ones that yes, you can upgrade. The verdict is you can, if you have a lifetime license, upgrade to the next version. And on on and so forth. They probably hope to drag it out, like say 5 more versions. Some people will stop using the software because people buy stuff, they stop using it. They'll see how many are active. If there's plenty of active people, and this comes around again, then they put up a fight. Then they'll keep it for a while longer. It all depends on how long people are willing to use the software, put up a fight. At this point, they probably realize, we just want some of these people to leave. So like this guy, Daniel Batal, he's leaving. He's not going to use their software. He's not upgrading from sounds of it.
Said that those options were just some sort of limited time benefit for Filmora users during the Filmora 12 beta test. I'm looking at all of these frequently asked questions from then and now, and I'm not seeing anything in here that would allow a user to understand that somehow this might be a beta testing related offer, or that somehow this would be different down the line. Here's another thing that's really confusing. Some lifetime license holders who either purchased before Filmora 9 or after and hadn't signed up for any sort of Filmora 12 beta testing still have access to the new Filmora 12 update completely free of charge. Up to this point, Filmora refuses to give any of us answers as to why this might be happening as well. They just seem to keep pointing fingers back to the current EULA and telling users that this is all just one big misunderstanding. The one thing that I can tell lifetime license holders who were allowed to upgrade to the new Filmora 12 is that I can't see anything in any of these agreements that would allow you to keep upgrading moving forward. So, who knows?
See, that's the other problem. They'll maybe let you upgrade one more time, and then they'll had something changed in that one where, I guess because you installed it, now you're agreeing to the new licensing, but does that really cancel out the Filmora 9 when you might have bought it lifetime license? I mean, because you have to, my understanding is with that software, it's going to want to do an upgrade, and you say yes, and then you get to read everything before. I don't know because I don't have their software, so I don't know on that aspect, but I guess it depends when they display that, but can you cancel it and still use the previous version? Somebody in the comment said, you're forced to upgrade. You can't really continue to use your old version. I find that hard to believe. Maybe it's just pesters you to the point of you're going to pay them money to upgrade. I don't know. You can let me know. But like I said, mainly my video is to let people that ride motorcycles, that do moto vlogs and stuff, know that maybe you want to stay away from Filmora because they have some weird business practices I personally don't agree with. But you can watch this guy's videos. Like I said, I'll link in the description and judge for yourself. And this one was Filmora told YouTube to remove my video. Okay, so not even his video criticizing him, not even like this video or this video. They actually told YouTube to take down a video that Daniel Batal was paid to produce by Filmora, like an older video. They like told YouTube, DMCA, take down, this guy is using an element in his video, blah, blah, blah. What the F? So that is retaliation. Somebody comments, somebody said sue them. Somebody said, well, what are you going to sue for? Well, you're getting damages. You're making YouTube give you a copyright strike, which affects your channel, which affects the algorithm to promote videos. I'm sure it does a lot more than just if you get 3 strikes, your channel's down. It's going to, you get a strike, your channel's not going to be boosted. YouTube's not going to boost that channel because you have a strike. If you have two strikes, I bet it is even dialed down lower. I've noticed that with my channel ever since they got pissy about some of my political videos, that once it was taken down, like getting it back, it seems like I'm getting the views and stuff, but the amount of money, I know right now because of the economy and stuff, YouTube doesn't have as much advertising revenue coming in. So that's also affecting, but I don't think they're pushing the videos. I think around like a month ago, my videos started, especially the older ones that used to get pushed a lot that I get comments on, are starting to get pushed again. So it took some time for that strike to wear off in their system so that they then recommend my video to people that are probably doing searches for what my video is talking about. So yes, a company doing a DMCA and issuing a strike against you is causing harm to you and your channel and your good name, because they paid him to produce the video that they are saying needs taken down. So that's even crazier that they picked a video that they actually paid him. So I'm sure he can prove that, hey, here's the agreement, here's the pay. They paid me to do this video, and now they're saying I have to remove it. What part of that is legal? You know, it's a video they paid me to produce. So shame on Filmora there. That's another reason why I personally would not use this Wondershare software. I wouldn't use anything from Wondershare because of this. That's just me. You got to make your own decisions in life. Watch these videos, like I said. And then here we have Filmora buckles under public pressure, but issues a threat. I found this interesting. So basically, this is where they say, hey, you know what? We made a mistake. Lifetime is lifetime, and we're going to go ahead. It's going to take us a few weeks to make those system changes, but we're going to allow you to upgrade to 12 for free. If you already upgraded, you can either get your money back or you can use that money towards having effects for a year, which is a $99 value, but we're going to give it to you for whatever the, yearly cost was. Oh, okay. I mean, sounds good. He kind of gives them more victory than what I would. I mean, is it a real victory? I guess if you just want to continue to use Filmora as a video editing software, I guess that's a victory if you don't want to learn something new. He did point out, there's people that in poorer countries that have to save up. Like that money is a big deal for that lifetime license, and they saved up to be able to spend 50, 60 bucks, whatever it cost then. And they spent the money, and now that lifetime is gone when, it's not like here, we take that for granted. You think, well, it's only 50, 60 bucks, even 100 bucks. Oh, come on, you can pay that. Look, you went out to eat, a family of two even nowadays, but my family of three, if my daughter gets saying, yeah, it's easily an $80 to $120 meal when you factor in tip. Easily for the three of us to go to a sit-down restaurant. Heck, just to go to Five Guys, it's like 40 bucks for the three of us. $40. It's crazy. So, and that's a place where you don't even have to tip them. If it was a sit-down place on 40 bucks, and, waitress was good and stuff, you're going to tip 20%, so $8. So now you're up to, we'll just round it to $50. Not to mention you had to drive there, take your time to go there, and all that good stuff. So yeah, we take that for granted in the U.S., where in Western countries where, yeah, 60 bucks, okay, it costs 60 bucks a year, not a big deal, just pay the 60 bucks. Somebody in a third world country, somebody in, say, Indonesia, somebody in South America, 60 bucks is a lot of money. When they bought that, they thinking it was lifetime license, and now you want 60 bucks a year. Now they're going to try to scrape together 60 bucks a year? No, I would say, go to DaVinci Resolve and use that software because it's free, it's powerful. You're going to be able to do anything you want with it. I would think. I mean, unless you're making professional videos. And if you're making professional videos and making money, then You just have to write that off as a cost of business that you're going to pay for, $300 or $400 for DaVinci's full package, or for Filmora's full package. You're going to spend that money, but you're making money. So just if you're just a hobbyist and you know DaVinci Resolve should be good enough for, I would say, 99% of people out there. And any writer I know, that's what they use. That's what they use. I personally don't know anyone that uses Filmora. I've never heard anyone say they use Filmora. But if you do watch this video, you might want to rethink. You might want to rethink. Well, let's.
I agree, from you in particular. But we're all past that now and we're moving on, right? Wondershare Filmora strongly condemns the behavior of spreading false accusations out of malicious intent. And we will take legal action as necessary. Really, Filmora?
So at this point, Filmora has already said, like, you can do the upgrade. Sorry, we had confusing speech, and you will be able to do the upgrade to 13 and 14 even. Any future updates, if you're a lifetime license holder, you will be able to move forward. They say all that. Then they say what he just read, that, oh, hey, malicious content, people are posting stuff. We're going to take legal action. So will I get legal action? This is my opinion. This is an opinion piece. I haven't used Filmora. I don't know really much about Filmora. But I can tell you what, because of this type of stuff, I would not use Filmora. And this is where I'm doing a PSA to the writers out there that are looking to use an action cam for one of their rides, for an event, maybe moto vlogging, maybe just walking around, because I have some urban exploring, I have some just walking around videos, that they say, you know what? We saw your video, Meeker. We're going to skip them. We're going to go right to DaVinci Resolve. My job is done. Now, did that cause harm to the company? I'm not trying to. I'm saying, hey, watch the video, judge for yourself what this guy says, research this, and decide for yourself. But I personally cannot do business with a company that changes what their lifetime licensing means. And he even shows in one of these videos I didn't mark it, he talks about and shows in the Wayback Machine where Filmora 9 that it was good for upgrading to the next versions. It said specifically in their license. So there's really no misunderstanding. There's nothing to get confused about. So if they're going to do this with something in 9, are they going to do this something in 12 where they, at the time, just worded it poorly, maybe didn't think about it, maybe didn't have legal team look at that and say, wow, yeah, you might not want to word it that way. Let's word it this way so you have legally room to get out of it. I think they just didn't have a legal team that worded it correctly, or maybe they didn't have any legal team. They were starting out. Well, they were up to 9. You would hope by that point, if you're on version 9, that you were doing something right and you had these systems in place to make sure your user contracts were pretty solid. But no contract is solid until it is tested in court. You learn that in real estate. You learn that in rental agreements. That rental agreement might sound pretty good, but the litmus test is taking it to court. And a lot of times courts in areas will say, nope, that's too strong. You can't do that. That's not fair, even if they signed it. So people that say, well, it's a contract and the contract is what it is, you signed it, that's not always true. A good contract is one that has been tested in your local court. Now, if you give me a contract, say you live in Maine, you give me a rental contract and I try to use that here, and then it might sound good on the piece of paper, like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, I like it. It has exactly what I need for my rental properties. And I have a renter, he signs it. And then 2 years down the road, he wants to default or something. And I show this rental agreement to court. We go to court. I show this. And the judge might say, you can't have that here. Or no, that's not going to work. So The test is in your court, in your district or region of the country, is the test. Does that contract hold up? Does Filmora's contract actually hold up legally in my court? Maybe not. Does it hold up in a Michigan court? Maybe. That's a you don't know until you take it to court in that specific area. And then you can say, yes, that contract is legally binding because it held up in court. Talk to a lawyer. Until that contract is tested in court, it doesn't really mean much. Okay? So a lot of people don't know that.
You couldn't stop at the part where you offered an olive branch, took full responsibility for what was going on, and offered those really great options for resolution. You had to throw in a threat too. In your tweet, you actually replied to users who said they loved your product, but pointed out that it might take a little while to rebuild that trust and integrity by saying, "You are right. Trust and integrity can't be more important. We will try to rebuild it with our community and are humbly open to all comments and suggestions." All comments and suggestions. Unless, of course, you somehow decide they were false and malicious, at which point you're going to take legal action against anyone who said anything against you on social media. That would be a lot of lawsuits, because there were thousands of people who left comments across social media who may have been confused by the factual inaccuracies that you took full responsibility for.
Yeah, they took full responsibility for that. Their wording was confusing. They said it was confusing. So if we're confused about it, then that isn't like slander. That isn't like trying to maliciously get this company put under, which I have the freedom of speech to say don't use Filmora. That's my opinion. Now, your opinion might differ after you watch this guy's videos. After you watch Daniel Batel's videos, you might be like, this guy, whatever. I'm going to use it. I'm going to keep using it because I like it. Sounds like a good company to me. Hey, more power to you. I personally cannot use a piece of software where they've, under their own words, had confusing licensing agreement, and then to settle when Linus Tech Tips did a program on them, a podcast, talked about it, and they also buckled and they said, you know what? We're going to let those lifetime. I would like to know how many lifetime license holders are there? How big of how much money did they speculate? Because it's speculation that, you have 1 million lifetime holders, license holders, that there's only going to be a percentage of them that are going to upgrade. There's going to be a percentage of them that leave. And there's probably a percentage of them that haven't used the software in a long time. So what are those percentages? Was it really that big of a moneymaker to say, hey, these people, if we change it, you know what they're going to do? They're going to pay us money every year. No, there's going to be a percentage of those people that say, like this guy, like, no, out of principle. And then there's going to be a percentage of people that haven't used the software since 10, let's say. They upgraded to 10 and they're not around. They died. They don't do video editing. They're not a content creator. They did it more as a hobby, maybe with personal video. I know a lot of riders who have bought action cams 1 or 2 times and then they don't use them because they're like, oh man, it's too much work to edit videos. They're not into the YouTube thing. So even for personal use, they're just like, eh. I know one guy who just had the videos saved to his hard drive. Like, he would go out, video stuff like riding. He was a venture guy. And he would go out riding. He'd video a bunch of stuff. He'd just take that car, copy it over to his PC, and that was it. He just had folders of raw video. Like, who's ever going to watch that crap? Let's be honest. I get rid of videos. I make them into content. I put them up. I go back at the end of the year, which, we're at the beginning of the year now. I need to go back my 2022s. I start deleting stuff because, well, they're on YouTube, they're on Rumble, they're on Odyssey. I don't need them for my collection on my hard drive just taking up space. I don't need those videos. So I personally, even though hard drive space is cheap nowadays, I just don't personally keep them around because I'm like, no one, my wife's not going to watch. If I were to pass tomorrow, my wife's not going to watch them. My daughter's not going to watch them. And they're still out there. So if I want to watch a video of dad or my husband, this is what he used to do, it's out there. Unless YouTube goes down, Rumble goes down, and Odyssey goes down, my videos are out there forever. Probably, like this guy's videos are out there forever. I don't know. Maybe he keeps all his videos, but I, who's going to watch this video in 10 years if he were to pass? I don't know if he's married, has kids or whatever, or other family. They're not going to watch it because it's not interesting. It's like saving photos of, you take a photo of a mountain and this and that. Why do we save those photos? It only means something to me. It doesn't mean anything to, again, my wife, daughter, my parents. They're still around. Other family members from cousins and that. It's a scenery photo. It doesn't mean anything to anyone else. For me, I look at, oh, hey, that was a mountain picture. I know where I took that, and it jogs a memory and makes me feel happy. Anyways, the point being, I get rid of my videos. I don't keep them around. But yeah, back to Filmora. That was a little side rant, I guess.
Perhaps was that directed at some of the more prominent voices during this discussion? At this point, the legal action...
I would say the threat was directed towards him and probably like Linus Tech Tips. Like, we're going to come out... Or is it directed at me? I don't know. I mean, my channel's not really huge, but some people consider 13,000 subscribers huge. Others don't. I don't know. It depends on your little niche of what your content is about. Or dirt bike riding and stuff is not a huge subscriber base. I make most of my money on other... I'll make more money on this video in the long run than I will actually on a ride video, because more people will look up Filmora. And I'll be honest, that's kind of why I'm doing this video. I'm the first probably honest YouTuber that will say, hey, yeah, Filmora, I don't like companies that change their agreements, and I'm going to probably make a little bit of money off this. Yeah, I am. In the long run. It won't happen overnight. It's like, I'll look at this video in 5 years and be like, how much gross did I make? Oh, I made, $60, but you make $60 here, $60 there, it all adds up. I'm under the impression you put a bunch of videos out there, you get a few pennies here, a few pennies there, you get $10 there, $20 here. It all adds up to where, hey, I get quite a bit monthly. So I recommend people do YouTube for all sorts of things. Whatever business you have, do YouTube. Also, it's a good side hustle. It's fun. That's my opinion.
That Wondershare Filmora has begun against me, the copyright claim and DMCA takedown of a video on my channel, a video that they had sponsored and paid for back in 2020, is still ongoing.
See, look, 2020, they sponsored and paid for him to do a video, and they didn't even take down the DMCA threat. They left it out there, which we'll see right here on what was the verdict. The verdict is, again, we'll have to watch his videos for the whole thing. I'm not going to steal all his video in a way, even though it's, I have fair use to do this. I'm not going to do that with this type of video. It's going to be in my description, all these links to his videos, and you can watch them in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 5 videos, and you can watch them in order and judge for yourself what you think about Filmora, aka Wondershare, and decide. But so verdict was they didn't even take it down, or maybe they did. I don't know. Anyways, it's gone. He doesn't have a strike. His channel is good to go. I thought what was funny was here he poked this other guy did a video because Daniel Batel's videos pop up. I think that's how it did for mine. It popped up, but I think it was because I was watching DaVinci Resolve. I was getting I needed a few refreshers on how to do certain aspects of my video editing. So I was looking up stuff. Maybe that's why his thing came up, because it's Filmora. It's another. Maybe Filmora has advertised, or maybe a lot of people. I don't know why, but whatever. YouTube recommended, and because it recommended, if it would have recommended one that was with a title like Filmora told me to remove my video, I probably wouldn't have watched it. But because it told me about the first one, Filmora just canceled our lifetime licenses. This was just yesterday. It told me this, so I'm in January. This is from, when was this put out? 2 weeks ago. And how many views? 808. So it's getting a lot of traction. And for whatever reason, YouTube thought I should see this video. And because lifetime license means something to me, and Filmora, I knew it was software, I didn't know what. I was like, I'll take a look. Hey, it happens to be video editing software. So it does apply to me as a content creator. And then today I went back, because it recommended, I think this one or this one. And I was like, whoa, wait, there's more? It didn't even dawn on me. So I clicked on his channel. I was like, there's all these others. So I watched that one in order. And I was like, wow. So anyways, this other content creator did a video complaining that Daniel Batel's, or he says David, videos are coming across, and he must pay for that content to be promoted. Well, yeah, you could do that, but then it would say it's an ad, right?
Been restored, and everybody is happy again. I mean, except for this guy.
The reason why I'm making this video is this guy's name, David Batal, keeps popping up in my feed for recommendations here. First off, taking a look at Daniel, he looks like he's a rock star or something like that. And that
I gotta say, my impression of Daniel Batal when I first saw that first video that it recommended, I was like, okay, he has long hair, he probably lives in California, he has a nice setup. Oh, hey, this is about video editing software. Okay. I see him being a production type person in this age and time. That his hair's well kept, his facial hair's well kept. He looks good. A rock star? Yeah, I guess to a certain degree. But yeah, okay, that's where West Coast. Yeah, that's how I would say he's a West Coast person. Okay, don't know his political affiliations or anything like that. And I won't even guess, because you could get that wrong.
Likes to run on top of cop cars, but Daniel, you're not a
this guy doesn't look like a criminal at all. Run on top of cop cars? That makes no sense. Are you saying he's woke, or he's Black Lives Matter? What are you trying to say there? I don't understand. He's a criminal? That makes no sense.
Freaking rock star. Get a haircut, you hippie. And number 2,
he calls him rock star, but then says he's a hippie. That's kind of contradicting oneself, because Rockstar isn't a hippie. I don't know. And I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know if he's a vegan. I don't know. Maybe he is a tree hugger. I don't know. I don't really care. It's not even part of this conversation. It's kind of funny. I like how he included this, and I'm just including it because I think this guy, at least I'll be honest, I'm doing this video because I don't like companies that do this sort of thing. That's first off. And B, yeah, people are going to be searching Filmora. People are going to be searching for Daniel Batal. People are going to, Linus Tech Tips talked about this. Yeah, there's going to be some blowback money here to be generated. This guy is 100% just like, I bet he does this for every channel. He probably comes across weird things that come around and just talks about hoping to get some blowback money, which I'll be honest, hey, if I make $20 here, I'll be ecstatic. Of course it's about the money. That's why we're content creators. God's sakes.
2, stop paying for these recommended videos. That's what I believe you're doing. I cannot prove it, but you keep showing up in my feed.
I should mention that I do have videos on my channel for people who might be confused or wondering how the YouTube recommendation system actually works and why certain videos get surfaced more frequently than others. I gotta go.
Because this one has what did we say? This particular one has 157,000 views. So, and it's only been 1 day ago. So we go back to his original one here, 880,000 views 2 weeks ago. Next one out, 189,000 7 days ago. So not as much. 254,000 views 5 days ago. 264,000 views 3 days ago. And then what did we say? 157,000 views just 1 day ago. It's because maybe you've watched some video editing software videos or something. I don't know. YouTube, there's a whole host of reasons YouTube recommends stuff. They do a pretty damn good job with recommending. That's why even if I'm subscribed to stuff, I don't usually see what my subscribers are doing because YouTube is like recommending. I always just have my main page is just recommended videos. So you can have that so it's just your the ones you subscribe to. I personally like what they recommend because it's usually pretty dang good. I've gone through some rabbit holes with some videos because it recommended some interesting video I watch it and then it recommends something else. I'm like, okay, now you're going too far. Just because I watched that one doesn't mean I continue to want to watch cooking shows or something, you know? It's like, just because I thought that one was interesting, like I think this is interesting, I don't want to keep having Filmora stuff pop up, but I probably now will because I've now watched 5 videos, and I'm sure Daniel Batal will now pop up on my channel because I've watched 5 videos in a row and I've gave a thumb up, so I'm showing interaction that I liked the video. I don't know if I liked them all. Yeah, I did. I gave them likes on all of it. I don't typically hit the notification bell. I don't even find that works half the time. The ones I do have, I still don't get notified. So I typically watch videos YouTube recommends. That's just me. That's just funny that this guy here, he's 100% was like, this video pops up, it's bugging me, I'm going to do this video, I'm going to quickly make maybe some blowback money, and maybe my video will be out there. I'll tell you the truth, I hope mine is. I mean, that's what YouTube's about, is making money. We're here not as content creators just to make content that's fun and engaging. It's also about getting paid. Yes, I like money a lot. Like Ben Mello would say on his channel, man, show me the money. It's about the money. It's about the goddamn money. So show it to me. So, you know, I'll be honest with you. It's about the money, man. And I try to be entertaining. I try to do videos that, you know, ride videos, but those don't pay as well as these. So got to do other type of videos, and reaction videos do a lot better. So anyways, Daniel Batal, I don't know if you're religious. I'm not religious, but God bless you. You have a good new year. Hopefully Filmora understands that was a very bad idea. Companies shouldn't pull these games in this day and age when we have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Truth Social, and what's some others? You know, we have Rumble, we have Odyssey. You know, there's a bunch of social media, Instagram, in Weibo if you're Chinese and stuff. There's a bunch of Instagram or bunch of social media, and we're going to talk about you. And if you do something that we don't think is right and we talk about it and it spreads like wildfire because other people say, yeah, that is absolutely not right, what are you doing, company? Whether it's them, somebody else, you need to change your ways. Don't act surprised when you get blowback from people that tag you and say, what are you doing? You know, if this wasn't settled, what I typically do to help somebody out like this, I also will take their video. I would have taken probably the first one here, and I would have said share and copied the URL, and I would have opened up Twitter, and I would have went ahead and pasted it to Twitter, tagging Filmora. I would have posted it to my Facebook account, tagging Filmora or Wondershare, however their company comes up, tagging them. And then they'd be, if they have somebody that pays attention to their social media and their tags, they'd be like, oh, ooh, this is spreading. Oh, this is bad. Now, some companies absolutely don't care, don't understand this day and age. And sorry, I have to move that. Him, that face. I'm like, I like that face better. There you go, Daniel. While I have it paused and talking, I couldn't take that. I like that face. He looks serious. He looks like a good-looking guy. I'm straight, but I'm just saying, he does. He looks like a guy I could sit down and have a drink with and socialize with. We're probably on completely different spectrums of political and everything else, but just seems like a very good guy. He comes off that way. Hopefully I come off that way. But anyways, I'm ranting now. I'm going on. Need to cut the video. So anyways, you guys take care. Hopefully this gives you some ideas of various software companies to use, not use, whatever you decide after you decide for yourself of watching Daniel Batel's videos. You all take care. Stay well. Stay safe, my friends. Have a good one.